A 75-year-old gang boss returns to the underworld, easily earning $100,000 with just a thermos. Under Dwight's intimidation, the pharmacy owner had no choice but to obediently open the safe.
How much you got there?
$500,000.
But Dwight didn't take all the money, and stated he would only take 20% each week from now on. In exchange, he guaranteed that Bodie's place wouldn't be harassed by gangs. So he only took $100,000 from the safe. Just like that, Dwight effortlessly became a shareholder of the pharmacy. But he discovered the purchase price for the special merchandise was a bit high.
So tell me, where do you get from?
There's a greenhouse and a 40-acre farm a couple hours north of here.
Who are they?
A guy named Jimmy.
Obviously, the boss Bodie was being taken advantage of. Dwight decided to go talk with the marijuana farm owner Jimmy. As long as he could bring down the purchase price, their profits could increase by at least 30%. Soon Dwight arrived at Jimmy's cultivation facility. That endless expanse of vegetation constantly exuded the scent of money, but the Native Americans who greeted them were not friendly.
How you doing? I'm Dwight.
He was the farm owner, Jimmy's cousin. Deep down, he despised white people.
You got a last name or shoot you?
What's that mean?
Literal translation is a greedy, non-Indian person who steals the fat.
But Dwight was not someone to be trifled with either.
You got a problem?
Got serious problems, motherfucker.
You ever been on life support?
Whoa, 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 whoa! Hey, take it easy, guys, come on!
Hey, Jimmy!
Fortunately, Jimmy came out in time to smooth things over. This avoided a nasty fight. Dwight could tell from experience at a glance. This was not what Bodie had described as merely a 40-acre single plantation, but rather a source facility occupying over 500 acres, integrating cultivation and extraction. The actual cost was far lower than they had imagined, and what Jimmy sold to Bodie were only some defective products. Naturally, Dwight wouldn't hold back when negotiating the price down.
I'll take 300 units. 1,200 for the first 10 units, 1,100 for the next 10, 1,000 for the 10 after that, and 750 each for the remaining 270 units.
I'll have to do the math.
We'll do it fast because the offer expires when I swallow this cracker.
Only then did Jimmy realize. It seemed he had encountered an expert. Even Bodie stood there stunned in shock.
You drive a hard bargain,
But fair.
deal.
Just like that, Dwight forcefully bargained the price down from $1,200 to $750. And this also meant their sales profit could increase by almost 40%. On the way back, Bodie couldn't stop the corners of his mouth from turning up. From initially seeing Dwight with a helpless expression, to now the endless admiration in his eyes. If it weren't for this old tough guy's timely appearance, he probably would have been taken advantage of for the rest of his life. It seemed the 20% weekly protection fee was worth it. But that wasn't all. Under Dwight's wise leadership, the pharmacy's business became increasingly booming. Every day the customers were endless. Although Dwight successfully earned his first pot of gold, his troubles kept coming one after another. This day he received a phone call. The call was from Chichi, the mafia boss's son. The other party demanded $100,000 right off the bat. It turned out not long ago, Dwight had broken the jaw of Vince, the mafia branch leader, with one punch. Especially after learning that Dwight was making money, Vince immediately found Chi-Chi, wanting to use this to extort a hefty sum from Dwight. Under Vince's strong insistence, Chi-Chi called Uncle Long on the phone.
Are you kidding me?
Dwight, it's a tax. His jaw's wide shut. He can barely talk.
All right, I'll send him something. But if you hear it ticking, don't open it.
Although Dwight could afford the $100,000, he didn't want to be taken advantage of again. Wouldn't it be better to use that money to buy ice cream? On the other side, the ATF agent Stacy. After learning that Dwight, who she had a one-night stand with, was once a mafia boss. At first she felt like the sky was falling, but soon her expression changed from initial resistance to calm, then from calm to curiosity, because the way Dwight stood up for justice in the bar was different from the gang members in her impression, and at his advanced age of 75, he could still be so capable. What kind of man was he? Exactly. So Stacy, under the pretense of monitoring and investigating Dwight, asked her best friend in the information department to help check his records, only to discover that Dwight actually had a record for taking a life. But the case seemed somewhat suspicious. The police had given him 6 chances to appeal, but he would rather take the blame and serve 25 years in prison. Than revealed the real perpetrator.
Well, you gotta admire that, right?
Do you? He's a fucking gangster.
I'm just saying, at least he's got some integrity.
Nothing sexier than a cold-blooded killer with principles.
A casual remark from her best friend instantly struck a chord in Stacy's heart. Although reason told her she must not get involved with a criminal, she still couldn't help but knock on Dwight's door. She claimed it was a routine visit in her capacity as an ATF agent, but actually wanted to learn more of his story. But after all, she was just an outsider. Dwight didn't reveal anything to her.
Listen, I need you to know that if you get jammed up here, there's nothing I can do to help you out.
I don't expect you to.
Stacy talked tough, but could she really be so heartless? When she learned Dwight was taken to the police station for questioning, she immediately rushed to the station to bail him out. This move left the female police officer stunned.
You know you're free to go, right?
What the fuck's going on? Why is the ATF button in?
He's part of a bigger investigation, that's all I can say.
Can or will?
Since Stacy had helped him out big time, it was only right for Dwight to treat her to a meal, right? And Dwight never expected that he, a gangster, would get involved with a female detective.
Do you remember the last time we were together? You said you couldn't help me if I got jammed up.
What can I say? I guess I'm shitty at my job.
Since the conversation had reached this point, what happened next wouldn't be surprising, right? After all, who could blame this 75-year-old tough guy Dwight for still being so capable? But what Stacy didn't know was Dwight's life wasn't as smooth as it seemed. It turned out that ever since he was convicted and imprisoned, his daughter had cut off all contact with him. Uncle Long carried with him every day the card his daughter gave him as a child, and this became his only memento of his daughter. He knew his daughter hated him for missing her entire childhood because of his code of honor. He didn't want to disturb his daughter's life again, but after finding his daughter's information, he still mustered up the courage to make the call.
Hello?
The one who answered the phone was his daughter Tina's husband. His daughter was already married with children. Through the phone he could hear his grandchildren playing and fighting. After his repeated pleading, he finally heard his daughter's voice.
Hello?
Tina,
You wanted to hear my voice.
yeah,
There. You happy?
can I see you?
A slight sound of the phone hanging up felt like a thunderbolt striking Dwight's heart. He had endured 25 years of prison life, but couldn't bear his daughter's refusal to see him. The city's nightlights reflected his lonely figure. His daughter's rejection made this tough man cry.
I love you. I quit on you. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But even so, fate didn't show him any mercy, because in an inconspicuous corner, a suspicious-looking man had already been secretly watching him.